Today's the day I would normally be posting a good deed today. And my whole goal with them was not to showcase things I was doing. The few I've done so far, I was actually trying to minimize showing the actual act, whether I talked about something I did or just minimally tried to show whatever was involved. I was trying to keep that side to a minimum because my goal with it is to help people learn and inspire them to help others and maybe learn about things that they could be doing in their life. And my other videos are more for yourself, helping you and those around you, right? Building your mindset and your physical body, as one. And these take it to the next level to go out to those around you and to your community to improve that as well. And I was really torn with how to showcase that point without showing the things I was doing, because I already have a feeling that it's not right when you see those videos out there where people are doing well for others. You'll always see the comments that other people agree with, that there's something that is kind of wrong when you're showing what you're doing. Now, I felt the same way, and I was still trying to minimize showing what I was doing to still get the point across of how to help people or ways you can do it. But now I've decided I'm not going to show or talk about really anything that I'm doing, and instead just try and build your own values and try and build your own knowledge and beliefs so that you can go out and do those good things. Instead of me trying to motivate you through what I'm doing, which was my goal, I decided to just try and hopefully build your values so that you'll go out and help others. And there's something in the Bible in Matthew 6 that says, watch out, don't do your good deeds publicly to be admired by others, for you will lose your reward from your Father in heaven. So when you give to the needy, do not announce it with trumpets, as the hypocrites do in the synagogues and on the streets, to be honored by men. Now, there's always two sides of the argument when someone is out doing good for people, right? Especially when people are hating on them for showing it to the public. And that's because, one side says, hey, you shouldn't be showing what you're doing. And the other side says, hey, well, they're doing good for someone, right? So it's fine. And I think we can all agree. I don't think anyone will, go against the fact that doing something good for someone is always good for the other person. But the way I'm thinking about it is selfishly for myself, right? Because if I'm doing good for someone, whether or not it's for hopefully you guys are following me. Um, there's a fine line with yourself when you're doing good for others. When you watch someone online, no one is going to go against the fact that they did something nice for them. Whether it's you gave them $100, you gave them a ride home, they did something nice. That's undisputed. But where there's a fine line is what was the reasoning behind the person doing it? Is it because I'm doing it from the goodness of my soul and I just wanted to share it to help you? Or where does that line drawn where down the road you're doing it for views, or you're doing it for followers, or you're doing it because you think you have to? So whenever you see those videos online and you see those debates, the debate should never be whether or not something good was done for something. The debate should be what is in that person's soul. And when they talk about selling your soul, if you're not doing it for the right reasons, that's what you're selling. If you don't have that goodness in your soul to be doing something for someone, and the reason you're doing it is because you want other people to see it, then that doesn't make you a good soul, that part of your soul good, right? The act itself is fine, but when it comes to yourself, looking deep down in your soul, then There's a fine line to walk, right? And that's something, especially when you watch other people, you don't know what the reasoning is why they're doing it. That's why it's such a fine line, because they are a nice person for doing that. It's a nice act. I should say it's a nice act, right? They're going out and doing these nice things, but there's no way we're going to know what's deep down in their soul. And that's something they're going to have to answer for, right? Because if you're not working on your own values and building yourself as a good person, that's going to show later on down the road. So that's a good lesson where people around you, I'm sure you know people in other ways, people who are fake, right? They do a lot of nice acts. Maybe they say a lot of nice things, but does that make them a good person deep down in their soul? No, because they say all these nice things, and then you see that switch flip, and all of a sudden they look like a totally different person, a monster, right? And why is that? Why? How could that really nice person do that? It's because were they ever a really nice person, or were they just doing really nice acts? That's why I wanted to share that. I know some people are going to take it to the extreme of, well, they did this nice thing for someone, they did this. That's undisputed. I understand that those are nice acts, those are nice things to do. That will never be taken away. That person who received that is blessed, right? The problem comes to the person themselves. And if I'm trying to help you guys and help myself try and become a better person, you need to look deep down in your soul of your own values, building yourself as a good person, and then sharing that along with other people. That's why when I was talking about those books, all the books I've been reading, especially um, Start With Why, where it talks about sharing, you know, that meaning with other people to help them in your business setting. Well, I said read Man's Search for Meaning first to find your own meaning. You know, find your meaning and then share it. Just like in this, build your own values to become a better person and then share that with others. So I'll listen back to that. Hopefully some of you guys could follow that. Maybe it helps you, maybe it doesn't. But that's my take on it. So from now on, with these videos, these good deed day videos, it's just going to be directed towards trying to make you a better person, or me watching it back so I don't forget, and making me or you a better person so that we'll be inspired by ourselves to go out and do these good things, right? We'll have the values to where we don't need to watch someone to get motivated to do it. That's just the type of person we'll have become. I don't know how long that was, but um, real quick, just a quick little lesson. I was in the store the other day, and there was no one else in the aisle. And it's the long pizza aisle. And I turned the corner and I just hear all this cussing and swearing, these mother beepers, this beep, beep, beep store, these beep, I'm not going to say all the words. And it was this person who was freaking out. I don't know the reason. I'll be honest. I didn't talk to him, but I'm still going to share this point, mostly because I was analyzing what was even going on. Because I went down the aisle to look at some food, and that's the last thing I was expecting. I turn and look, and there's some people walking down the end of the aisles just looking over, probably thinking we were in a fight, just what's going on. But the point I want to make is, and this is for any circumstance in life, especially if you know the person, what's your initial reaction going to be of that person? So if we're trying to become better people, what's your initial reaction going to be? Are you going to go, wow, this guy or this person is a bad person, you know, they're violent, they're mean, I better stay away. Maybe you should stay away if they're freaking out. But what's your initial reaction going to be? Is it going to be something bad about the person, or is it going to be the contrary, right? Is this person having a bad day? Maybe something happened, maybe someone died. Maybe someone else was there before, and they heard this person's feelings, and then they ran off, and now that's his reaction. And the reason I want to say that is because that's going to happen with people you know in life. Maybe someone's always bubbly, or always happy, or always friendly, and then one day they say something, and you think, "Wow, that wasn't nice. I'm surprised this person said that." So, kind of going along with that scenario in the store, this person you know and are friends with, and they said something that hurt you, are you instantly going to think, wow, this person's such a bad person? They're not who I thought they were. Why would they ever say something like that? Or would it be on that contrary again? Hey, I wonder what's going on in this person's life. They're never like that. Maybe maybe something happened when they were at home or with someone they know. Maybe something happened on their drive over here. Or confront them. Maybe they didn't mean to say it like how they did, and you would say, "Hey, why would you say something like that, or why would you do that? That's not like you." And maybe they say, "Hey, I didn't mean it like that," right? Or maybe they say, "Hey, if you ask them what's going on, maybe they say someone died and they're just really upset and on a short fuse, or maybe they're really stressed." And that's kind of what I want to get at here. If you're trying to help people, you got to try not to judge them as much, right? Because if we use our mind to create the reason they're acting the way they are, that's not the truth. Our mind can create so many fairy tales in our head, or nightmares, right? Especially in that case. And if you're going off your assumptions, why would you ever want to believe something bad? If you're friends with this person, or if it's family and they're not acting right, why would you instantly want to jump to, hey, that person doesn't like me anymore? Hey, that person was uh, being mean to me purposefully, right? Why would you ever want to believe that? Because it's not the truth. As I was saying before, the only way to know is to confront them, because there's no way. Most people don't even know what's going on in their own head. How would you ever know what's going on in someone else's head? So ask them, hey, did you mean to say it like that? And maybe they say yes, and you figure out where your differences were, but you work through it. You don't just hold a grudge against someone. You confront them and figure out why they said what they did, or why they acted the way they did, and you find out the truth. Because maybe the truth is they didn't mean to say it like that, or maybe they're having a bad day. And if something is going wrong, you can help them through it, right? You can be there to help them. So in life, everyone, you know, people act differently every minute, right? And if we're there trying to help people, first we need to stop judging what we think they're doing and begin asking them what they think's going on in their life. Because, like I said, most people hardly know what's going on with themselves. So trying to help someone else is even harder. And you can't do that unless you reach out and try to get them to open up and really tell you what's going on. So that's the talk for today, for the good deed days. This will probably be the setting I use, because to me, this think you go to a Chinese restaurant or something, to me, that's always peaceful. You get the green tea, you get the calming music. I don't have the music going, but it's about, yeah, being calm and being open minded, especially when you're trying to help someone. You got, as I've said before in another video, Thomas Jefferson said, facts are stubborn things. If you're waiting for your mind to tell you what's going on in life, it's going to create something. Your mind's going to create a scenario in your head, but the problem is, it may not be right. And if you're just trusting your mind to create these fairy tales or nightmares about other people, that's not doing anyone any good. Get down to the nitty gritty facts, confront people peacefully, right? I'm not saying to go yell at someone. I'm saying confront them to try and get the truth out of them of what's really going on, and then just try and help them. I say it all the time. You just got to try, and that's what I'm doing here. So if you took something away from it, great. If not, I know I'll look back on it, because As my mind works, I forget. I can forget stuff. I'm human. So that's all I got. Till the next one, keep pushing.